Check, check, mic check, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, mic check.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah. We're gonna get started. Good morning, everyone. I would like to call this meeting to order at 10:03. Before we get into the full meeting agenda for the June 26th to 2025 Chicago Plan Commission meeting, I want to quickly provide guidance to those who want to provide testimony on the cases presented for public hearing today. A few of you may have already submitted forms electronically, but for anyone else who may wish to testify before the Plan Commission, please fill out sheets located on the table where you enter the room. Please include your full name, address, if you are for or against the proposal, and if you are here representing yourself or an organization, please hand your sheets to one of the staff members. People who have completed forms will be called on after each item is presented. Thank you. Out of respect for other speakers, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Please line up at the microphone behind me. Actually, it's somewhere in front of me today. I will call your name, and please do not repeat the comments that have already been made by previous speakers. The public comment portion of the meeting is not a question and answer session of the staff or the applicant, but an opportunity for attendees to voice their opinions on a particular proposal. Out of respect for others, please do not interrupt or disrupt the speakers. Any individual who disrupts the presentation or any subsequent comment session may be asked to leave the room if necessary and may be escorted out by security. We will now call the roll. Commissioner Barclay? Not here. Commissioner Boatwright?
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Brumfield? Not here. Commissioner Burnett? Not here. Commissioner Carney? Not here. Commissioner Castañeda? Thank you. Commissioner Dowell? Not here. Commissioner Flores? Here. Commissioner Johnson? Not here. Commissioner Cadaquia? Not here. Commissioner La Espada? Thank you. Commissioner Lyons?
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Murphy?
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Piñeiro?
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Ramirez Rosa? Not here. Commissioner Reyes? Not here. Commissioner Cicho Lopez? Not here. Commissioner Esposato? Not here. Commissioner Tillman? Not here. And Commissioner Villegas? Not here. We will now approve the minutes from the May 15, 2025 regularly scheduled Plan Commission meeting. The minutes were distributed prior to today's hearing. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the regularly scheduled meeting of the Chicago Plan Commission held on May 15, 2025?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Boatwright. Do I have a second motion?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner La Espada. Roll call vote. Commissioner Boatwright?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Castañeda?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Flores, yes. Commissioner La Espada?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Lyons?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Murphy?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Piñeiro?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion passes. Reminder, we will take public comments for the items on the agenda after each item has been presented. If you have not already done so and you wish to speak on an item, please complete a testimony slip available at the table just outside of the room. Staff members are available to assist if needed and will collect the forms from you. Now we will move on to the public hearing presentation portion for matters submitted in accordance with the Lake Michigan and Chicago Lakefront Protection Ordinance and or the Chicago zoning ordinance. The first item today is listed as D1, a proposed Lake Michigan and Chicago Lakefront Protection Ordinance application submitted by Marine Drive Business, Inc. for the property generally located at 755 West Lawrence Avenue. The property is zone B3-2, and it is within the private use zone of the Lake Michigan and Chicago Lakefront Protection District. The applicant proposes to rehabilitate and improve the existing gas station and convert the former car wash into a convenience store. The Zoning Board of Appeals has approved the special use association associated with the proposal. This is Lakefront application number 792, and it's in the 46th Ward. Yang Di Wang will provide the context overview and present the proposal, and let the record reflect that Commissioner Cicho Lopez is in attendance.
Thank you, Chairwoman. Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, my name is Yang Di Wang with the Department of Planning and Development. This proposed development is generally located at 755 West Lawrence Avenue and is located within the Uptown community area within the 46th Ward. The applicant, Marine Drive Business, Inc., and their development team appear here today to propose a Lake Michigan and Chicago Lakefront Protection Ordinance application for the subject site. The property is within the private use zone of the Lake Michigan and Chicago Lakefront Protection District. The applicant proposed to rehabilitate and improve the existing gas station and convert the former car wash into a convenience store. The Zoning Board of Appeals has approved the special use associated with this proposal. The proposed development is located in the Uptown community area, which has an estimated population of 57,464 and a median age of 36.8. The site is approximately 16,961 square feet and is bounded by West Lawrence Avenue to the north, North Marine Drive to the east, North Clarendon Avenue to the west. The site qualifies as a transit-served location with several CTA bus stops nearby and within working distance of the Lawrence Station on the CTA Red Line. The site is zoned B3-2 Community Shopping District and is within the private use zone of the Lake Michigan and Chicago Lakefront Protection District. No zoning change is proposed. The surrounding zoning are RT4, Residential 2-flat Townhouse and Multi-Unit District, B3-2 Community Shopping District, POS-1 Regional or Community Park, and Planned Development. I'll now turn the presentation over to the applicant team to present the details of the proposal.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Antonio.
It's off, yeah, if you want to click on it.
It's okay, I'll speak louder.
Are you able to hear him though? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, my name is Antonio Finizzo. I am the architect of record of this project. Now I've got two of us.
Yeah.
And we're
Perfect.
What we have is a site that, well, she just went over that's surrounded on three sides by street. And the building that you see on the left, that's not part of the project development. So I want to kind of be clear in the front. We're not talking about that. So what we're doing is we're taking an existing site and redeveloping it to the new standards. And the new standards is that where we're creating like a convenience store plus a gas loading station. And if you move on to the next page. Okay, that is the building that we are proposing to replace what's there as a car wash presently. It is going to be a BP station. So the colors that we're presenting are used by BP. That's where the green is. At the end of the slide, I'll go over the rest of the colors. So what I'm showing here is basically a front view and a side view. We are going to bring in the brickwork that most of the buildings surrounding it, plus some modern touches on the building.
Welcome.
You have like a bird's eye view now of what is being proposed, which would be the landscape area all around the gas station. And when it's fully developed, I think it's going to block most of the gas station view. And this was all worked out with the City of Chicago landscaping department. Now as the next slides, we're going to go through, well, we have the neighborhood that was presently at the site. What I'm showing you is basically where the site is, and there's going to be this is across the street. Yeah, one is across the street, and the other one is the building to the left, which is a townhouse building. It's going to remain. Where the driveway show, that's where our development's going to be, and that's where all the improvements will take place. Okay, then will be your sequence.
Good morning, Chairwoman and the Commissioners. My name is Akhil Jadi. I'm the Project Manager and the Business Corporations Finance and Operations Manager. I would just like to brief off the couple of slides that I have to explain about. As the slide number 10 that talks about the project timeline and community outreach. The estimated time frame as per my general contractor is between 14 to 16 weeks. So we are talking about by the end of October, we should be done with the construction time of the project. So because there were a lot of hurdles came in this project and a lot of time also got, involved in this. So otherwise, this should have been done quite earlier. So expected time frame is by end of October. Hopefully everything goes well and we get the permits as soon as this. We hope and pray that we get this through with the today's meeting, and then the next step is that we are going to get the permits, and my GC has already lined up the contractors. So I'm actually on the top of the construction timelines.
Okay, what we have is the existing before, which is the existing right now, which we have like 3 driveways, one off the main street of Lawrence and one on each side of the street. To your right, maybe to my left, I guess, to my right, yeah. On your right is what we are proposing to do, which is remove the driveway off Lawrence Avenue altogether and block it up with a new landscaping. We are reducing the width of the driveways to the west and also remanaging the driveway to the left, to the east. We're pushing the building basically 5 feet off the back of the property line, and we're sliding the gas pumps with the canopies further south. So we have a fully access for delivery trucks, the gasoline trucks, and the automobiles as they come in and they're going out. I think now we can go to the next one. All right, this is the site plan, which goes through what we're actually proposing to do. Now to the east, we do have to have 2 driveways because the cars have to be able to pull out from the pumps. As you can see, as we redeveloped the property and we have increased actually, decreased the hard surface and increased the landscaping area. Now I can tell you about the parking. This is the interior of the proposed building. It's going to be a convenience store, basically catering to the neighborhood. A roofline, we're going to have only rooftop units, which is called about 2 rooftop units and some exhaust fan. Really would be not intrusive, not big. Next slide. Okay. The next one, please. Oh, can I hear? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. I'm getting too much on ankle. That's why. Okay, what we are proposing, the elevations that we're proposing is pretty much very contemporary, and which we would like to kind of be like a highlight of the neighborhood. Draw people in and see people in, that we're using soft colors. We do the brick, which is matches the neighborhood. We're doing the green, which is from the BP colors. We're doing kind of rain screen on the corner, which picks up the contemporary use of the elevations. And on the side, it kind of returns around, as wraps around the building. The back is all fully masonry, and it's only 5 feet, and it's only 10 feet from the next door neighbor. The next slide is basically sections of the buildings. It's going to be 1-story space, and it's going to be pretty much, yeah, one-story space, exposed ceiling. The next one, typical wall sections, which again reemphasizes the 1-story and the structure of the building, which the roof will be exposed, which is something contemporary that we're doing. Next one. Yeah, this was the traffic. On the traffic study, I'm showing how the mostly the delivery truck of the gasoline, how it's able to come in, stop in between the two drives, unload, and then be able to get out back to the street and going to off the site. This will be very minimal impact on the neighborhood and the streets. Yeah. Again, we're back on the urban setting, which is my corner, how it's developed and how it works here. So I'm repeating basically what I'm doing, removing the driveway of Lawrence, removing the driveway of Clarendon. Actually, that was Clarendon, we're removing one and reducing the other one. And we extending the sidewalks from one street to another street, plus along the Lawrence Avenue undisturbed sidewalk. The open space landscaping, oh, that's a lot of landscaping to go through. Yeah, it's basically, we're complying with the city landscaping ordinance. We went through the city forestry department on the parkway trees, and we basically came up with this. I was told not to include the description because there are quite a few species there. Yeah. And the last slide, it talks about the kind of finishes that we are using on the building. The white ceramic tiles was the one that the originally we're looking at. The light brick is going to be the main feature of the building. The light gray stucco is on, I think it's on top, yeah. The brushed aluminum fence is the one that wraps the corner, and the metal fascia is the colors of BP that will be highlighted throughout the project. Okay, that's somebody else.
Time. Give me time. Yeah, especially today.
Yeah, I'm talking about slide number 22, which is the economic and community benefits. We have also gone through this with the community in detail, with the alderman being present in the meeting, the Chamber of Commerce, the LANA, and the community around. They really appreciated our project. They wanted a big convenience store for their shopping because there are no much stores available for the neighborhood. In fact, they came up with few good suggestions. We included them in our project. So as far as the project cost is concerned, the construction cost is around $800,000 on this. And then we are going to hire 3 full-timers and 1 part-timer there. And the rest would be the construction jobs which the GC is going to handle. So as far as economic and community benefits are concerned, well, it is definitely going to be very beneficial for community and also for us. We have been always very closely attached to the community of that area in contact with the alderman's office. We support the local school by our regular monthly donations for their school computer department development and progress. And we help across the street, there is Salvation Army, people housing over there. So we treat them during the special occasions like Thanksgiving dinners and other community projects that they do. And our plans are for extending more facilities to the community also. This is the help that we are planning. And also, as far as the community is concerned, they are going to benefit with this big shopping facility for them. We are going to, because right now we are operating a small kiosk where we sell few candies, some pops, and some cigarettes. That's all we could accommodate in that small kiosk. So when this store comes into existence, they're going to have more variety. More variety means more deals. More deals means more prices. And we could offer them the washroom facilities with ADA compliance. Right now, there's no washroom facility for the community. So we are going to provide them that facility also, and it's going to be more space for them to move around, maneuver around, and we are going to have storefront parking. Right now, storefront parking is not there. So these are all good points which we discussed with the local community also, and the Lana over there. So they all really appreciate this project, and they have blessed this project so much. And the alderman and the current, before it was a different alderman, Mr. Kappelman, and now it's a different alderwoman. So they all appreciate and bless this project.
For the record, again, my name is Yang Wang with DPD. DPD has reviewed the proposal with regard to the requirements of the Lake Michigan and Chicago Lakefront Protection Ordinance, and has concluded that the proposed project would be in compliance with the applicable policies of the Lakefront Plan of Chicago and the purposes of the Lake Michigan and Chicago Lakefront Protection Ordinance as they apply to the development in the private use zone, particularly Purpose 1, promoting public health, safety, comfort, and conserving natural resources. Policy number 8, increasing personal safety. Policy number 14, coordinating public and private development across water, park, and community zones. A letter of support from Alderwoman Clay is on file. The Zoning Board of Appeals has approved the special use associated with this proposal. Please refer to my staff report for further details regarding this project and the plans identified here today. Based on the foregoing, is the recommendation of the zoning administrator that the Chicago Plan Commission approve Lake Michigan and Chicago Lakefront Protection Ordinance application number 792 as being conformance with the provisions of the Lake Michigan and Chicago Lakefront Protection Ordinance. DPD staff and representatives from the applicant team are here to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Yandi. Let the record reflect that Commissioner Brumfield, Burnett stepped out. He may be back, and also Commissioner Carney are now in attendance. I'll open it up to the commissioners. Do the commissioners have any questions or comments of the staff on this item?
Say something?
Oh, yes, you're right. We do have one speaker signed up to speak on this item. George Blakemore, can you please? Can you test the microphone?
Item, and I'm going to tell you the reason why.
First, okay.
It's because of this $800,000 that's going to be spent. And they're saying they having community input. When do you have a record of how many people attended this community meeting? Do you have a record of the people that oppose this new development? It's not enough saying the alderman, and you here, you all are not doing your due diligence to make sure that it's truly community involvement. And when it comes to these contracts, somebody have to build and develop that. Are you sure that you will monitor this project to make sure that they have Black people included in this contract, getting these jobs? So that's why it's very, very important to have a citizen of my caliber to come to these meetings, to bring issues that, on the behalf of the Black community. Is money going to be spent? And I want to make sure that my people receive these jobs. Now, my question, who is monitoring that the so-called MBEs and WBEs, Black people are getting this in on this finance? So I'm going to speak on every one of these items. But why are you doing this, Mr. Blakemore? Because I can. And and I've been doing it, advocating that Black people work on this project. I understand exactly what's going on here. And when my 3 minutes is up, I'm going to be popping up on all of these items. Because you just don't need the approval of the alderman. And when you have these community meetings, you must have a vote. And they sign in and how each one of them voted. So again, this is why we have a totally democratic party here. No check and balance. Nobody to object to this dog and pony show that's going on here.
You have 20 seconds.
Thank you about
Thank
my
you.
stuff. And I will be up on every policy item.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let the record reflect that Commissioner Ramirez Rosa is in attendance as well. And just to confirm, we do have a letter of support from Alderman Clay on this item. So I'll just repeat that. Open it up to the commissioners. Do any of the commissioners have any questions?
Since that one that members of the panel wants to say something. You want to make a statement, sir?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
If I could, Madam Chairman. My name is Mark Kupiec. I'm the attorney for the applicant.
Okay,
And I just wanted to mention, just to follow up a little bit on Akil's comment, two things.
yeah,
As Yang Di mentioned, we were before the Zoning Board of Appeals on this case because the addition of the convenience store is considered an expansion of the gas station. The zoning code requires a special use for the expansion of the gas station. And because it's a vehicular use, the zoning board has an intake process, which is led by Nancy Radzovich from the Department of Planning. And through that intake process, we work with both CDOT and the Landscape Division, CDOT reviewing our driveways and traffic flow, landscaping, encouraging us to add landscaping as we have, and Antonio explained very, very nicely. But that intake process, fairly extensive there prior to the zoning board hearing itself. At that time, this project's been pending a long time, started under Alderman Kappelman. And at that time, Alderman Kappelman asked Akil to meet with the Lakeside Area Neighbors Association. And they did in fact have a larger community meeting which Alderman Kappelman attended himself, along with various other organizations like the Chamber of Commerce. And after that meeting, Alderman Kappelman wrote a letter of support for our zoning board case and specifically referenced that meeting with the Lakeside Area Neighbors Association.
can you state the date on that meeting?
Well,
Send it to you.
I'll say roughly sometime when we started the project, June of 2022.
Okay, great. Okay, so a few years old.
In any event, and then we did appear before the zoning board, and the zoning board of appeals that approved the special use at calendar number 9324S. So I just wanted to emphasize, in addition to the work we did on this application,
Commission.
there was an extensive process before the zoning board as the project evolved.
Thank you for that information. Yeah, Commissioner La Espada?
There we go. Hey, thank you so much. I just wanted to say thank you very much for the presentation, for bringing the project forward. It's a great design, but I want to call out like the closing up of that curb cut on Lawrence. It's not very often that we have designs, particularly for gas stations that are closing curb cuts. Lawrence is a very much a highly trafficked pedestrian and cycling route, and your design, your project makes it safer for thousands of people. So I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
Any other comments or questions?
And Madam Chairman,
Yeah.
that community meeting, make that 2023.
Okay, instead of 22. Thank you. No questions, comments? No? Okay. If there are no more questions or comments, I'll go ahead and ask for a motion. Do I have a motion on a proposed Lake Michigan and Chicago Lakefront Protection Ordinance application submitted by Marine Drive Business, Inc. for the property generally located at 755 West Lawrence Avenue, finding that it meets the requirements for approval?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner La Spada. Do I have a second? Second. Thank you, Commissioner Lyons. Roll call vote. Commissioner Boatright?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Brumfield?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Burnett. Thank you, Commissioner Carney.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Castañeda.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Flores. Yes. Commissioner La Spada.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Lyons.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Murphy.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Piñeiro.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Ramirez Rosa.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Sicho Lopez. He stepped out, okay. Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item today is listed as D2. A proposed residential business plan development submitted by Harvest Homes 2 Apartments LLC for the property generally located at 3415 through 3449 West Jackson Boulevard and 3414 through 3456 West Fifth Avenue. The applicant is proposing to rezone the site from RM5 and B3-3 to a B2-3 and then to a residential business plan development. The applicant proposes to construct a 3-story building not to exceed 41 feet in height with up to 50 residential dwelling units and a food hall. The maximum floor area ratio will be 1.2. This is item 22694 and it's in the 28th ward. Omar will provide the context overview and present the proposed plan.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, my name is Omar Smailebegovic with the Department of Planning and Development. This proposed development is generally located at 3415 to 3449 West Jackson Boulevard and 3414 to 3456 West Fifth Avenue and is located within the East Garfield Park community area within the 28th ward. The applicant, Harvest Homes 2 Apartments LLC, and their development team appear here today for the purpose of establishing a residential business plan development at the subject site. The site is currently zoned RM5 Residential Multi-Unit District and B3-3 Community Shopping District, and the applicant proposes to rezone the subject site to B2-3 Neighborhood Mixed-Use District prior to establishing a new plan development in order to construct a 3-story building containing 50 residential dwelling units on and above the ground floor with a food hall. This request is being submitted as an elective plan development application. The proposed project is located in East Garfield Park. The site is bounded by West Jackson Boulevard to the north and West Fifth Avenue to the south, on the block between South Homan Avenue and South St. Louis Avenue. East Garfield Park has a population of approximately 19,900 people. Almost 66% of East Garfield Park households have an income less than $50,000 per year, with a per capita income of approximately $20,000. A significant number of households in East Garfield Park are considered rent burdened. The subject site is close to many key neighborhood anchors, including the CTA Kedzie Garage, which is a major employer, and a CTA Blue Line Station and Garfield Park. The subject site is shown on this land use map as black to represent that it is currently vacant. The surrounding land uses for the area are primarily residential and commercial. Immediately to the south of the site, across Fifth Avenue, is a surface parking lot within Plan Development number 267, which serves as off-street parking for RML Specialty Hospital, Additionally, there are existing businesses and small multifamily buildings to the north and east of the site. The site falls within the Kedzie Avenue Corridor Preliminary Study Area, which was completed in 2014. The strategies identified by this plan include encouraging the redevelopment of vacant properties and the development of infill housing and promoting new business attraction. I will now turn the presentation over to the applicant team to discuss their proposal.
Thank you. Is this mic? This mic's working.
Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Steve Friedland. I'm a lawyer with Applegate and Thorne Thompson here on behalf of the applicant Harvest Homes 2 Apartments. Harvest Homes is a joint venture between two not-for-profits who have a lot of experience with affordable housing. I have with me to my right, Pastor Michael Eady, who is with the People's Community Development Association of Chicago, or PACDAC. Also, Veronica Gonzalez is sitting in the gallery there. She is with the NHP Foundation, which is also a not-for-profit that does affordable housing. Also with us today is Jamin Nulsh, who's our architect from Urban Works. As I stated, this project is a collaboration by these two not-for-profits. PACDAC previously developed a site to the west of this, which is why this is Harvest Homes 2. There was Harvest Homes 1, which is built. It was done as a planned development. It's a 36-unit affordable housing development. This is going to be a 50-unit affordable housing development. All the units are affordable, but it will also include some a food court at the east side of the project. We can I click for you? So these are just some perspectives. This is now giving you a perspective looking from the east, and what has the rooftop deck is where the food hall will be. The apartments are in the other building. This is one connected building. I should note that this is a project that has been in the works for some time. There was always a plan to extend Harvest Homes 1s to Harvest Homes 2, so there's been a lot of community involvement here. You can see from the pedestrian context, and I think Jamin will speak to this a little bit more when he talks in a moment, that community involvement and our involvement with DPD created certain changes to our design. Originally, we had the food court building separate from the rest of the apartment buildings. Now they're connected, and there are certain design changes that we worked through with DPD on sort of the physical facade of the building that Jamin can speak to. This gives you a time frame of the project. It really has been in development for a number of years. There have been numerous community meetings. PACDAC is associated with the People's Church of the Harvest, which is just west of this site. And Pastor Eady, who, as I say, developed Harvest Homes Phase 1, has been working with the community for quite some time to get to this point. The plan is that we would go through Plan Commission now. We do have tax credits that have been awarded for the project. So our expectation is that if we can get through the zoning process, that we would be able to, complete the project by 2027. I spoke to community outreach already, so I will skip this. Let me turn it over to Jamin to talk through the site plan and some of the other issues.
Thank you, Steve. You can see our site plan here, Jackson Boulevard across the top of the page, and Fifth Avenue coming diagonal through the page. We really have two street frontages in this project. The Fifth Avenue street frontage maintains the street wall and to give that sort of urban presence. And the Jackson Boulevard street presence is really more about the courtyard and creating spaces for both the community and the residents in this building. So this site plan has been reviewed with DPD, CDOT, DOH, and gone through a number of changes in that process, mostly focused on the building entries, pickup and drop off, loading zones, things of that nature. But the last thing I'll add on this slide is we're considering the primary entry on Fifth Avenue, which we think is consistent with DPD's plans for Fifth Avenue. We also like that it connects to Harvest Homes 1, which is on Fifth Avenue, and has that visual connection. The second floor plan is all apartments with a high space in the food hall, and the third floor plan has the roof terrace for the apartments. The roof, yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
can skip roof plan. The building elevations, as Steve showed a couple slides ago, have gone through lots of iterations with material and color. We wanted to be more responsive to the materials and colors of Harvest Homes 1 and of the neighborhood more generally, which is where this sort of darker tone comes from compared to the lighter tones that we had before. For this project, we're talking dark brick, dark metal panels, and sort of this redwood colored metal panel. More building elevations. You can see the food hall there. This is a building section. It's a 3-story building. And facade sections with the balcony railings at the apartments. This is the traffic, transportation and parking plan. We have a small parking lot, 11 spaces, which is just 0.22 spaces per unit with the appropriate landscape buffers. And to add, we will also have public bicycle parking and indoor bicycle parking for the residents. And then one thing that was added in coordination with CDOT was this raised mid-block crossing at Fifth Avenue to help calm traffic, especially near a pretty the Fifth Ave Homan and Jackson Boulevard intersection gets pretty chaotic. Urban design, we talked about the street frontage. The building entries are emphasized with canopies, planting areas, and plazas. And we really try in all our projects to engage pedestrian interest for the public, not just for the residents of the building. The landscaping plan by PRI, this slide is more focused on the courtyard, but we'll have a playground and a public plaza, and then a more private plaza as you get closer to the building. We have seat walls on Jackson Boulevard at the public plaza. And again, our building materials, we have dark iron spot brick with dark panels and also these terracotta colored metal panels. For the SDP, we're looking at Enterprise Green Communities to score 80 points. We'll receive 15 points for 100% on-site ARO. And then we have rooftop solar ready construction. We have some additional measures that go beyond the scoring, which is bird safe glass at the lobby. The building will be fully electric except the gas appliances at the food hall. Maximum 40% glass as it's currently designed, and our landscape architects always use native landscapes. This will comply with the stormwater management ordinance. We have a large detention under the parking lot.
So I can take it back here. As I stated, the project is going to be 100% affordable. We do have a mix of area median income units. So 5 of the units will be at 30% or less area median income, 12 units at 50% or less AMI, and then the remaining 33 units at no more than 60% AMI. We really feel there are a lot of economic and community benefits to this project. There's going to be construction jobs created, permanent jobs created. There are on-site resident services at the property. The food hall is really a great amenity. As stated up there, there's only 2 sit-down eateries within 2 miles of this development, so this really provides a missing use and need in the community. This is an ETOD project, so we think it will enhance the CTA and its ridership. As I stated, both of the developers are not-for-profits. They're both BIPOC organizations. including our design and construction team, which is 100% minority or women owned. And we wanted to point out that for Harvest Homes 1, the development well exceeded the city's participation goals. And we are committed to the city's participation goals for phase 2, but I think the development team feels we will exceed those as well on this project.
The Department of Planning and Development has reviewed the materials submitted by the applicant, and we have concluded that the proposed development would be appropriate for the following reasons. One, the proposed development is in compliance with the applicable standards and guidelines of the zoning ordinance. The proposal is consistent with and advances the strategy of the Kedzie Avenue Corridor Preliminary Study, and the proposal meets the standards for residential urban design by building at a scale that reflects the context of the neighborhood. The proposed residential and commercial food hall use are compatible with the character of the surrounding area. The density and building scale of the proposed project are compatible with the B-3 zoning districts to the south and west of the site, while respecting the low-scale neighborhood, residential and commercial buildings in the surrounding area. The proposal has been reviewed by and received approval from the Chicago Departments of Transportation and Fire, the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities, and the Department of Building Stormwater section. Please refer to my staff report for further details regarding this project and the plans identified here today. Based on the foregoing, it is the recommendation of the zoning administrator of the Department of Planning and Development that this application to establish a residential business plan development be approved and forwarded to the City Council Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards as such. Thank you.
Thank you, Omar. And we do have one speaker signed up to speak, Mr. George Blakemore.
What is affordable? You did not tell the amount of money. What is affordable? And you do all that percentage, 30%. What will each one of these apartments rent for? Also, you, in listening, I don't have to be able to even read and write. You said some is public space and some is not public space. It's all public money. Did you hear me? I guess those that have a restaurant, they have their little patios or something. They can use it. It's all, Mr. Blakemore, the money is all what? Public money? And with these, I'm not hoodwinked by these reverends, nonprofit organizations, these reverends in our community. That doesn't impress me, a Harvest or whatever. I'm wanting to know the demographic of the people that are now living in that area. It's just another way of turning the area white. And the community participation, surely you would have someone else lined up, people from the community, not only that reverend. So the games that being played. And then when the Park District men came in here, I asked this question once before, and Sierra all say, no, we don't get a stipend. He has business at the Park District. That's a big job there. And for him to come and leave the Park District and come over here, what motivates him to do that? Why would he, the head of one of the most largest park districts in the United States that have troubled waters, problems? So it's something that motivates him to be on this committee, and all of you, perhaps it's money. I say, but Sierra, do y'all get a stipend for coming here? You said, no, we don't. We don't. So he has great problems in the Park District. And for him to sit.
Thank you, Mr. George.
Thank you.
I'll open it up to the commissioners. I know Commissioner Burnett would like to make a comment on this.
Thank you very much. Yes, Sierra, if you are getting a stipend, can you let me know? Cause I want mine too.
I like to say for the record, plan commissioners don't receive stipends for their service to the plan commission.
And this is for our civic duty.
Absolutely.
And the Park District has a very important role in being here to represent green space for the city of Chicago. So, anyway, and I'm saying some of these things because I got 3 interns sitting out there, so I want them to understand. So first of all, I want to commend you, Bishop. I want to commend you on going into your second phase. I want to commend the aldermen for pushing this forward. I do have a couple of questions. I know the second time around is easier. It's like riding a bike, so you can get on it and ride a little easier now. You didn't have to fall down as much. But tell me, how is the stack put together as far as the funding goes on this?
Why don't we have Veronica come up and she can speak to that?
And I'm only asking because I want to, do it too. I want a copy off of you, Pastor.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Veronica Gonzalez with the NHP Foundation. Thank you, Pastor Edie. And we're the prime sponsor and guarantor of the development. This is a $39 million development, so we've been awarded 9% tax credits. And we're working in tandem with the Department of Housing for the soft funds that we requested on this project. For a combination of home, TIF, ARO, and assumably if Maui funds are available, that's what we would be using to subsidize the 30% AMI units. So it's a combination of sources, very typical for your LIHTC capital stack.
So you say Maui?
Correct. Through the Chicago Low Income Housing Tax
Okay.
Fund.
And no CHA, no public housing.
There is not.
All right, fantastic. Then also, this is a city lot or you own a lot?
It's a combination of lots. Pastor Edie has acquired 2 lots privately, and then the other lots are being acquired, one through the Cook County Land Bank Authority and the other through the City of Chicago.
Fantastic. And then Pastor, I know you're doing a what's that? The kitchen, the
Food hall.
food hall. All right. How big is the food hall?
In terms of square footage, it's a little over 4,000 square feet.
So how many people would be able to attend the food hall? Like
So
seating?
Seating.
About
obviously,
180.
It's a
Pastor, can you speak to the
Oh,
microphone?
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Very sorry. It's projected for 3 food vendors. So Veronica,
It's about 150
about
people.
150.
Okay, fantastic. So Pastor, they not gonna stop buying the chicken dinners at church to go to the food hall. Are they? I'm just.
It's all right. We discontinued the chicken
You
dinner.
did discontinue. Okay. I'm a deacon at my church.
I know that's right.
We be counting the money for the chicken dinners, but anyway.
And we changed a lot of things.
All right, praise God. So I just want to commend you, Pastor. Thank you for doing this in the community. I would hope that more of our folks in the neighborhood, especially around these churches where we have vacant lands, that they would do more innovative things like this. I want to commend the aldermen.
Yes.
I also want to commend the mayor.
Yes.
And everyone involved in all of the departments for helping to put this together. Congratulations to you and Godspeed. Hopefully you do more.
Thank you
Keep it
very
up.
much. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Brumfield?
Yes, first, about to turn this on. First, I just want to commend this group and you in particular, Pastor, for pushing this project ahead. I think this is obviously a much needed project in this neighborhood. And I always thought this corner was just from an urban design standpoint, pretty fascinating. So it's great that you actually are holding this triangle site. We don't often see triangle sites actually get developed here in the city. I do have a couple questions. Going to the corner at Holman, there's that triangle site. Is that a parcel that you control, or are there plans for that parcel for potential open space that complements the food hall?
So it's currently privately owned.
Right.
And
Okay.
PACDAC has been trying to acquire it.
Yes.
I think the plan is that the pastor is someone who keeps trying, and I think he intends to keep trying. And if it was acquired, it would just be used as open space. That would
Okay.
be the plan. That's what we wanted for it, but it's not controlled by us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But thank you. Second question is really for the architect. Fantastic job on the building. If you could just give a little bit more detail in terms of the flow and circulation of the food hall, just kind of looking at the plans that you
Sure.
have here as far as entry, and then there looks like there's a space that is part of the kitchen that, may be kind of a receiving area. And then how do you actually, what does that mean in terms of transitioning to the back of the food hall? If you could just talk a
Yeah.
little bit more about that.
Absolutely. So the main entry is on Fifth Avenue, again, consistent with DPD's plans for Fifth Avenue to become more of a neighborhood destination. So you'll enter on Fifth Avenue through a small vestibule and be in the sort of food hall seating area specifically. There's an open kitchen for up to 3 vendors, sort of
Okay.
around the perimeter of that food hall, which you can see the darker orange there on the screen. And then behind the open kitchen, there is a shared back of house space for things like dishwashing, coolers and freezers. Loading is complicated on sites without alleys in Chicago. So we have a loading zone near the front door, and you can see the double pair of doors there is really the trash enclosure indoors for the food hall. And then when they have their private trash pickup, they can open those doors and deal with deliveries and trash through that way. And then the third thing I'll say here is we do, and again, we've been focused on that corner parcel even without being able to acquire it yet, but we do have a large outdoor terrace on the east end of the food hall there with doors to the terrace.
So there's 2 points coming off of where people are receiving, food from the vendors to go into the.
In multiple
back.
directions,
Got it.
yep.
Thank you.
And it's not shown very clearly here, but there is also an entrance on Jackson.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Laspada, followed by Commissioner Cadaquia.
Thank you so much, Chair. A couple quick things. Number one, really love the project. I feel like you may have identified the one parcel of land that is a 6-minute walk from 2 different CTA stations, and that is quite a feat to pull off. I think it's a great design, really well served by so many modes of transportation. There's a part of me that feels like you could probably do a whole nother floor of housing on top of this, but I understand the desire to be contextual to the community. And I just wanted to take a point of information for public information, because it's come up in a couple meetings now. Who serves on the Plan Commission? There are appointed members of the Plan Commission from various development spaces across the city. There are heads of various departments, and then there are alders who are ex officio members based off of the committees that they chair. No one collects a dollar outside of the salaries for the jobs that you already do to serve on the Plan Commission. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Cadaquia.
My question is on the right side of the slide, for lack of a better way of putting it. Is that a glass enclosure or is that open?
That's open.
That's open. Fantastic. Okay. I'm just looking for things that birds will collide with among the other wonderful aspects of the project. That's the one I thought I'd mention, it's a great project. I very much agree. It would be great to put another story on this, but I know the financing constraints don't allow. But I'm really glad this is happening in East Garfield Park because I think its time is coming quickly where it's going to be unaffordable to do anything like this. So thank you all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Castañeda?
I just wanted to express, obviously, my very full-throated support for the project. This is a project that came through our 2023 funding round. As always, our goal is to have affordable housing in every single community area in the city. I'm really grateful for Chairman Irvin's support and for the work that this development team is doing. And we're really excited to have this continue to move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other questions or comments from the commissioners on this item? If not, I'll hand it over to Alderman Urban.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As has been stated previously, and I'm gonna put this in context for you, the last time we did Harvest Homes 1 for the 38 units, 36 units, we had over 1,000 applications for those units. We just opened Fifth City Commons. We had over 1,400 applications for 50 units. I do not know how many applications we will get for these units. I say that to say that this is a pressing need, not just in the East Garfield Park community, but across our city as a whole, that people are looking for affordable spaces. The one thing that struck me about this project was the innovation that Pastor Edie brought to the table as related to the food hall. At first, just kind of baffled and shook my head a little bit and thought about it and said, well, you know what? We have great cuisine. Chicago is known for great cuisine. We have great cuisine on the west side of Chicago. So why not showcase that talent in a different way? And I know that was one of the hurdles in the project, but at the end of the conversation, I think it is definitely befitting in the East Garfield Park community because in the C4 and the Fifth City Commons space, we've had tremendous interest from food entrepreneurs, especially with the advent of the hatchery, which is another project that we all supported, which is about 3 blocks away from here. We are seeing businesses that have been developed there looking to come out. Just last council meeting, we did the Twisted Egg Roll venture, which was out of the hatchery. So there are plenty of opportunities and entrepreneurs that are in need of space for the work that they will be doing. So again, I think this is a great project. On top of that, I actually happen to live less than a block from this particular location in East Garfield Park. So not only am it as the alderman, but as a local resident to this area, to see this parcel that, as people talked about, not having the ability to develop triangular portions in the city. This lot has sat vacant for the last 40 years. And in time, we'll get that last piece on the end. I won't say about hook or crook, but we'll get it. We'll get it.
Working.
Exactly. So again, this is it's just a testament to the need for this. I wish we could build more units like this at the location. However, we have constraints in funding and the like, but it just tells you the need for such affordability, not just in East Garfield Park, but across the city. And I look forward to come back with other developments in East Garfield to address affordability, not only for our rental stock, but also for our for sale and other housing stock that's needed in the area. So we ask for the support of the commission and furtherance. Since Alderman Burnett is left, he's going to put some money in this as well. He just don't know yet. Alderman Burnett funds everybody, so I don't feel bad asking him for the money. So, and we're beyond the chicken dinner, so we need some real money out here. So, but thank you all, and we appreciate your support.
Thank you, Alderman. Any additional questions or comments from the commissioners? No comments or questions?
Madam Chair, would I
Yes.
be allowed to make
Of
one
course.
acknowledgement? You see the team members, but I want to acknowledge someone who's been vitally important into this whole project, and that's CP2 Kim Jackson. And I just like to acknowledge her.
Oh, great.
Been most valuable
Great.
to this whole
Thank you for the
project.
shout out.
Yeah, I had to give her the shout out.
Anybody else with questions or comments from the applicant or the alderman? If not, I'll go ahead and ask for a motion. Do I have a motion on a proposed residential business plan development submitted by Harvest Homes 2 Apartments LLC for the property generally located at 3415-3449 West Jackson Boulevard and 3414 through 3456 West Fifth Avenue, finding that it meets the requirements for approval? Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Boatright. Do I have a second? Thank you. Second by Commissioner Castañeda. Also, let the record reflect that Commissioner Tillman is in attendance. So I'll go ahead and do a roll call. Commissioner Boatright, can you confirm?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Brumfield?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Burnett? Thank you. Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Castañeda?
Yeah.
Thank you. Commissioner Flores, yes. Commissioner Cadaquia? Thank you. Commissioner La Espada?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Lyons?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Murphy?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Piñeiro?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Ramirez Rosa? Thank you. And Commissioner Tillman? Abstain. Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Alderman?
Thank you. My apologies. I wanted to thank I guess Commissioner Carney. I know this is probably one of his last meetings with us, and just want to thank him for his service that he's given the city for. I know he's probably been around since he was 9 or 12. But again, thank you for everything that you've done in the Department of Transportation through the years. Thank you much.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, moving along. The next item today is listed as D3, a proposed zoning map amendment within the boundaries of the North Branch Industrial Corridor submitted by Throop Studio LLC for the property generally located at 1500 North Throop Street. The applicant is proposing to rezone the site from M2-3 to C3-3 to allow for the operation of a private event space with a public place of amusement license, PPA, in addition to the existing photography studio with 2 existing parking spaces in this transit served location, TSL. This is item 22593-T1, and it's in the 27th Ward. Yangdi will provide the context overview and present the proposed plan.
We need PowerPoint.
Is this computer access to the plan commission SharePoint?
So you only sent me the PowerPoint and this doesn't have PowerPoint. Yeah.
Is this one linked to the plan commission SharePoint?
Good. Congrats on Gensler's Firm of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. That you've never applied for? You've never considered it?
Yeah. But all the like coach houses and everything in addition to
Yeah. Good morning. All good?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning. For the record, my name is Yang Diwang with Department of Planning and Development. This proposed development is generally located at 1500 North Soup Street and is located within the Westertown community area within the 27th ward. The applicant, Soup Studio LLC, and their development team appear here today for the proposed Type 1 zoning map amendment in the North Branch Industrial Corridor. Applicant seeks a change in zoning from M2-3 light industrial zoning district to C3-3 commercial manufacturing and employment zoning district to allow for the operation of a private in one space. Applicant currently operates a commercial photography studio and intends to continue that use in addition to the proposed private in one space use. No new construction or site improvements are proposed. The proposed project is located in the Westertown community area, which has a population of 86,482 and a median age of 32.7. The site is approximately 3,930 square feet and is bounded by North Soup Street to the east, West Limonian Street to the south, a public alley to the west, and an existing building to the north. The site qualifies as a transit-served location and is approximately 570 feet from the CTA bus stop at North Avenue and the Soup Street. The site is improved with a one-story, 3,700 square feet building. The ground floor is for photography studio use. Surrounding land uses include commercial, multifamily, residential, mixed use, and industrial. Now I will turn the presentation over to the applicant team to introduce the proposal.
Thank you, Yangdi. Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners. My name is Zubin Kamula. I'm an attorney with Siegel and Moses in Chicago. With me this morning are Jeff Dahlgren, a principal for the applicant, and our project architect, Todd Israel. So we'll start with an aerial view from the southwest direction of the subject property. You can see it there highlighted in red. Then with regard to pedestrian context, there are two pedestrian-oriented facades, both with wide sidewalks and parkways. You're looking at the Throop side, which faces east. The main entrance is there at grade level. Then the second entrance is on Lemoyne. You can see there that there's a small set of concrete stairs, which provides a second point of access. The planning context is that the proposal is subject to the guidelines of the North Branch Framework Plan. We believe that the project comports with all of these stated goals of the plan. In terms of timeline, the project is located in the 27th Ward. Our initial outreach consisted of reaching out to Alderman Burnett's office. He directed us to meet with North Branch Works. We held a meeting at the property, gave the North Branch Works executive team a tour of the premises and spoke to them about the intent behind the proposal, and we received their full support. A letter of support has been presented to DPD. In terms of next steps, subject to your favorable recommendation, we would proceed with the pending map amendment application. That in turn would allow us to submit an application for our public place of amusement license. In terms of the public place of amusement license, I've had discussions with Alderman Burnett about restrictions that would be placed on the operation of the business should we get to that point. Finally, with regard to community benefits, we believe that this will allow us to continue to invest in the property. There'll be some additional jobs created, we assume that the private event business is going to be successful, and the more successful it is, the more jobs we'll have. And then because we are in the industrial corridor, will be making a payment of approximately $48,000 for that fee. I'm going to turn it over to our architect, Todd Israel, who's going to take you through slides 12 through 16.
The building's site and floor plan are pretty straightforward. There's an existing studio space that includes some offices and conference space. There are a couple of parking spaces in the rear adjacent to the alley and a loading dock. There were a couple of interior photos, but maybe those are not in this presentation. Anyway, the interior it's kind of two large studio spaces that Mr. Dahlgren would like to use as events. Okay. Yeah. So it shows the two studio spaces that he'd like to use for event space. The exterior elevations are fairly simple. There is adjacent on-street parking and a pretty dense canopy of street trees that provide shade and some screening from the surrounding properties. It's just the second elevation. Yeah.
Thank you, Todd. With regard to transportation, traffic, and parking, this is a transit-served location. It's about a block and a half away, 570 feet from the North Avenue bus stop. And then we had prepared that map that you see to the right just to show that there's ample off-street parking in the area. In terms of what we expect the clientele to do, because this isn't a huge space and the events are small, the proposed events are going to be much smaller. We expect that, clients are probably going to do rideshare or hopefully public transportation because of the close proximity to the North Avenue bus line. We talked about economic and community benefits, but we'll touch on those again. We expect additional jobs. The space is going to be oriented to smaller events. So networking, birthday parties, wedding showers, speaker series, and similar type events. And based on our expected success of the business, we would continue to improve the property. Further down the line, there may be some renovations that we think would add value. Thank you.
For the record again, my name is Yangdi Wang with DPD. DPD has reviewed the project materials submitted by the applicant, and DPD has concluded that this proposal is appropriate for this site and supports the development for the following reasons. The proposal will not adversely affect the continued industrial viability of the North Branch Industrial Corridor. The total number of employees within the district will not be affected by the proposal. The proposed use is consistent with other developments in the area and is compatible with the other developments adjacent to the site. The requested C3-3 commercial manufacturing and employment district zoning is compatible with the surrounding zoning districts. Please refer to my staff report for further details regarding this project and the plans identified here today. Based on the foregoing, it's the recommendation of the zoning administrator that the application for an industrial zoning map amendment in the North Branch Industrial Corridor be approved and forwarded to the City Council Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards as such. DPD staff and the representatives from the applicant team are here to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Yandi. Mr. George Blakemore, you're up again.
The games that people play. When they get ready for this vote, all of them gonna say, I. Reading is fundamental. A liquor store. What? A liquor store. How many Black people in the city of Chicago have liquor
It's
license?
not the correct item that we're talking about, Mr. Blakemore.
Which item are you
This is
talking about?
item 3.
Okay, item 3, I don't know. I must be, I was reading, I guess, item 4. Anyway, I can speak on this issue. when I asked the question, are they getting paid a stipend? They said no.
We've
You're
talked enough about how we are not getting a
Wait,
stipend.
wait,
We
wait a
need
minute,
to
young lady.
repeat comments that were made before.
Wait a minute, young lady. I am a citizen here, and I'm sure you want to hear from the citizens
We've
here.
addressed that comment.
Okay, I'm going to address this issue, young lady.
Okay.
I didn't come up here to argue and go back and forth with you. If you don't
Me
agree
neither.
to me, with me and my presentation, I shouldn't be beat up by you. I have every right to have my opinions. You all have already made the statement that you don't agree. Well,
Correct.
let me continue.
Correct.
Let me continue. Correct.
With new
Let-
comments,
Wait
please.
a minute. And my comment, madam, young lady, my comment is that when it get time to vote on this items and all items that will come up, it will be a yes vote. A yes vote, no objection. This is not good government when there's no check and balance here. And it becomes, you become bullies. When somebody come up and object to what's going on, you all become bullies. But when I'm just gonna be seated in a few minutes and watch this vote, it's gonna be all yes. All yes, no check and balance. And Mr. Blakemore, what is their political affiliation, these people here? They're all Democrats. And no chicken, that's not healthy. So you don't have to agree with me, but you shouldn't abuse me if I going against the system. I have this right. It's not good government. It's like a communist system when you have a one-party system and no check and balance. So again, it's very important for a man of Mr. Blakemore caliber to come here and
Thank you, Mr.
And I'm going
Blakemore.
to Speak on the next item. Thank you, Madam. Right, ma'am.
Okay, I'll open it up to the commissioners. Do you have any questions of the staff or the applicant on this item? Commissioner Laspada?
Thank you. I had one very quick question because it feels like a great location, great purpose, keeping jobs oriented, development in the North Branch corridor is a great thing to be doing. I did have a curious, why an underlying -3 zoning for this site? I may have missed that, rather than like -1.
So when we met with North Branch Works, that was a request that they made because I think they were concerned with potential residential development in the area.
And to do -3, I don't mean C3, I mean the -3 on the back end.
That was a recommendation that from DPD when we submitted our map amendment.
Noah from DPD. We left the -3 because it started as an M33. There was an M-3, so we just left it. We just changed the fronts that controlled the use, and we didn't touch the density that was behind.
Got it. Good, simple answer. Thank you so much. I will say, this development, Salt Shed, Elston, CTA, if you get your funding together, I'm going to put out that first public call for an Elston bus route. I feel like what Elston is today is crying out for more public transit service. I hope we see that in the future. Thank you. I know that's a bit off topic, but my goodness, it's all I could think about during this presentation. Thank you, Chair.
Point, thank you. Any other questions or comments from the commissioners? No. Okay. I know Commissioner Burnett is recusing on this one, but please go ahead and make a statement.
Yeah, thank you very much, commissioners. So this project has come before me. I directed them to the local Leary in the area, which is North Branch Works, because they represent the area and represent the industries in the area to make sure that this would not have an adverse effect on the industries in the area. As you know, this is a part of our community that we sort of, we did two things. One, where there's a TIF over here, but also we kind of relax the PMD over in this area as part of Goose Island some years ago, but not to allow residential in this community, but to allow commercial and businesses to be able to come to this area. So North Branch Works don't have a problem with it. They wrote a letter in support of it. We don't have a challenge with it. I did have them to get some recommendations from the Department of Transportation in regards to parking and what have you. As they said, it's a small venue. It shouldn't be that many people coming over there. We support this and we ask for the body to support it also. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Any follow-up questions from the commissioners on this item? Nope, okay. I'll go ahead and ask for a motion. Do I have a motion on a proposed zoning map amendment within the boundaries of the North Branch Industrial Corridor submitted by Throop Studio LLC for the property generally located at 1500 North Throop Street, finding that it meets the requirements for approval?
So moved.
Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Boatright and second by Commissioner La Espada. Thank you. Roll call vote. Commissioner Boatright?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Brumfield?
Yes.
Thank you. And I have a recusal from Commissioner Burnett. Commissioner Carney?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Castañeda?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Flores? Yes. Commissioner Cadaquia? Thank you. Commissioner La Espada?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Lyons?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Murphy?
Yes.
Commissioner Piñeiro?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramirez Rosa?
Yeah.
Thank you. And Commissioner Tillman?
Yes.
Thank you. Did I miss anybody? No?
Commissioner Lopez.
Yes, Commissioner Cicho Lopez is back. You want to vote on this?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you for your time.
Yes. Yes. Last item. Yeah, okay. Let me get organized. Where is it?
He owns it. Thanks. Okay, take care of this.
Right, here's one.
We're gonna move an item a little out of order. We are taking a moment to honor one of our colleagues and commission members. So if you can just follow me. The next piece of business on the agenda is to adopt as a body a formal resolution recognizing our esteemed colleague Claudette Soto. Her passion to strive for equity and equality were evident throughout her career. I want to recognize the presence of her family and friends here with us today, specifically her husband, Rene Barraza, and their children, Ari, Isa, and Omi. I will now read the resolution, take comments from plan commissioners, and take a voice vote to adopt. We will provide Rene with a signed copy of this resolution. Whereas it is with great sadness that the members of this plan commission express our profound sense of loss following the passing of our colleague, esteemed Commissioner Claudette Soto. Whereas Claudette Soto, having been an integral member of I may need some help. Maybe we all take turns. Right.
Whereas Claudette Soto, having been an integral member of numerous committees and organizations throughout the city, county, and metropolitan area, and having been devoted to addressing issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion throughout the construction industry. And
whereas being known as La Patrona had fought tirelessly to ensure that women achieve a level of equality in being involved in the construction industry and are able to join the trades and become general contractors. And
whereas having been a devoted wife to Renee Barraza for over 20 years and an exceptional and caring mother to their 3 children, Ari, Isa, and Omi. And
Whereas having honorably served on the Chicago Plan Commission since her appointment to the body on September 21st, 2022.
Now therefore, be it resolved by the Chicago Plan Commission. Number one, that this Plan Commission recognizes the truly unique and transformative roles Claudette Soto played in shaping urban development in our city, region, and country.
And number two, that the Department of Planning and Development and the City of Chicago appreciate and wish to honor the life and the achievements that Claudette Soto has given to the Chicago Plan Commission and to the City of Chicago.
I can talk. I could talk.
Thank you. Yes, please.
I just wanted to say, thank you for this recognition. Claudette loved working on this commission and just serving, the city in this way. And, I know she'd be proud to get this recognition. And, I'm really happy to be able to bring the boys here to hear this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, I'll open it up. Yes.
I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you for sharing your wife. Boys, thank you for sharing your mommy with us. Your mommy was a rock star, brilliant, passionate, and her face lit up talking about you guys. And it has been an absolute joy and honor to be able to serve alongside of your mother. So just thank you guys so much for sharing your mommy with us. She made this city so much better with the work that she did on this plan commission, and by her advocacy, how her asking tough questions, her keeping developers honest, and her really pushing the limits. Your mommy was a beautiful rock star and so well respected in our city. And I just wanted to tell you all, thank you so much.
Anybody else? Yeah, Commissioner Burnett.
Thank you very much. I concur with what my colleague just said. Your mother's going to be missed. I was just reading the article with one of her quotes in there, and it says, "My mission is to help women and minorities navigate challenges of being underestimated, criticized, and judged so they can emerge stronger." And also in the same article, it mentions that sometimes she would get mistaken as being a representative for her husband because people didn't recognize that she was the boss, right? So your mother was a boss, and she broke many glass ceilings for many people in the city of Chicago, and she opened up a window for many other Latino women to step up to the plate to become owners of their own companies, construction companies in this industry. And she always recognized that she needed to make sure that we had a space. So your mother leaves a legacy, guys, that you all need to recognize that she stood up for herself, she stood up for her family, and she stood up for her community. So you should be proud of your mom and the things that she did. And I know that what was in her heart is in your heart. And I see great things coming from you in the future. God bless you all. Dios te bendiga.
Thank you. Yes, Commissioner La Espada, Commissioner Cicho Lopez, oh, and Commissioner Ramirez Rosa, I'm sorry.
So I just wanted you to know, as much as anything else that we said, that we miss your mom and we miss her smile and her courage and everything that she brought to all of us. And I want you to know that when my daughter and I do our prayers at night, we made sure to pray for your mom because we care about her and we miss her. And thank you very much for sharing her with us. Thank you.
Yeah, we should have prepared. Okay, yeah, Commissioner.
Thank you, Chairwoman. And I know that words in times like these are never going to replace the empty place that Commissioner Soto leaves, not only this commission in the city of Chicago, and especially in our Latino community. As an immigrant myself, as someone that sees the hard times the community goes through, oftentimes, I want to honor her legacy with that commitment to continue with that passion and dedication to serve our city. As a mother, as a wife, as a leader in our community, to us is a thing, a responsibility to leave on the legacy of Commissioner Soto. To us is a very difficult day. I will tell you that when we see leaders like Commissioner Soto, I think the work and commitment to our city of Chicago in times like these are even more important for us to leave on the legacy and the commitment that she day after day had in this commission. I want to thank the family for sharing her time with us. Those precious moments definitely were worth for a better city. And on behalf of our Latino community, I want to thank all your family, all the Soto family for what you do, what you continue to do, and know that here with us, you always have someone, you will always have a friend, as she was for many of us. So I want to thank again the family, her 3 children. I think for us, feels with pride to have seen the work of Commissioner Soto to make the city a better city because of her commitment, dedication, and love for her family, for her city, and for everybody who worked and had the opportunity to work with her. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Ramirez Rosa.
I'd like to express my deepest condolences to Claudette's family. And I'd like to say that you've likely heard this from other people, but I want to remind you that your mother is still with you. And she's with us right now in this room, her memory, her service, and she's going to be with you every single day moving forward. And she leaves an incredible legacy in this city. And this legacy that she leaves is now yours. You are her legacy. You will always be part of her. And know that she was loved and respected by so many people. And be very proud of who your mother was and all of the gifts and things that she has left to you. So continue in her legacy. Public service is oftentimes underseen and undervalued, but it is so incredibly important because without people like Claudette, we do not create a better city, we do not create a better world. And so, que en paz descanse, Claudette Soto, y Claudette vive, and she will continue to live through you and through everything that she did while she was here with us.
Thank you. Anybody else? Well, rest in power to Claudette. She'll be missed.
I want to just put my name on the record, but on behalf of Commissioner Reyes, she's trying to rush here. She really wanted to be here to say some things about Claudette. I don't think she's going to make it, so I just want to put her name in support and saying thank you for everything you've done and shared with us.
Can we clap for her? We do have to vote, okay. Yeah, all those in favor of this resolution, say aye. Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's important that way. They don't have to wait. Okay. We'll have to go back to the regular agenda. We're at item 4. Okay. The next item today is listed as D4, a proposed amendment to residential business plan development number 1067 submitted by Pilsen Gateway LLC for the property generally located at 1431 through 1455 South Blue Island Avenue, 1218 West 15th Street, and 1208 West 15th Street. The applicant proposes to rezone the plan development number 1067 to the B3-5 Community Shopping District and then to plan development number 1067 as amended to allow for additional uses to be added to the plan development. The existing interior space located within sub-area B will be renovated for a liquor store, tavern, and outdoor patio located at grade level. No other changes are proposed. Number 22763, and this is in the 25th ward. Yang Di Wang will provide the context overview and present the proposed plan.
Thank you, Chairwoman. For the record, my name is Yang Di Wang with the Department of Planning and Development. This proposed development is generally located at 1431 to 1455 South Blue Island Avenue, 1218 West 15th Street and 1208 West 15th Street, and is located within the near West Side community area within the 25th ward. The applicant, Pilsen Gateway LLC, and their development team appear here today to propose an amendment to plan the development 1067 for the subject site. The applicant proposes to rezone the planned development number 1067 to the B3-5 Community Shopping District and then to planned development number 1067 as amended to allow for additional uses to be added to the planned development. The existing interior space located within Suburb B will be renovated for a liquor store, tavern, and outdoor patio located at grade level. There are no proposed changes to the size or bulk of the existing buildings and improvements. The number of dwelling units, the number of parking spaces, the size of commercial space, and the height of the existing buildings will all remain the same. The proposed development is located in the near West Side community area, which has an estimated population of 65,581 and a median age of 32. The site is bounded by west of 14th Place to the north, South Reason Avenue to the east, South Blue Island Avenue to the west, and west of 15th Street to the south. Planned development number 1067 was originally adopted in 2007 to establish a residential business planned development with 2 sub-areas. The approved plan proposed a mixed-use development with multi-unit residential above ground floor retail. The PD was amended in 2017 with additional minor changes approved between 2018 and 2021. The development has been built out. The site was zoned B2-5 neighborhood mixed-use district prior to the establishment of planned development 1067. The surrounding land uses for the area are primarily residential and commercial. The surrounding zoning district for the area are planned development C1-2 neighborhood commercial district, B3-5 community shopping district, and M2-2 light industry district. I'll now turn the presentation over to the applicant team to present the details of the proposed amendment.
Thank you, Youngdi. Chairwoman, Plan Commission, members of the Plan Commission. My name is Lenny Asaro, an attorney at the law firm of Fager, Drinker, Biddle, and Reith. I'm the attorney who represents the applicant in this case. Here today with me are Andrew Berry from the property owner side, as well as Eddie Modi, who is the proposed tenant for the retail space along 14th Place. This particular PD was approved July 19, 2007. It was amended in July of 2012. And as Youngdi indicated, that there were subsequent minor changes. The net site area is 54,027 square feet. There's 2 sub areas here, sub area A and B. Sub area A is 30,000 square feet. Sub area B is 24,027 square feet. The number of dwelling units is 202 after the amendments and minor changes. In sub area A is where the residential units are located. There's 202. In sub area B, there's no residential units. There are a total of 132 parking spaces, of which 111 are in sub area A and 21 are in sub area B. If you happen to take a look at an aerial before coming here today, you would notice that this particular, the 12th District Police Station was constructed in 2011, 2012. And then the Rosie, which is the residential building that's a subject here, was constructed in approximately 2021. You're seeing here an aerial view from the south facing north with sub-area B to the north and sub-area A to the south. And with general context, you'll see the 12th District Police Station just to the northeast. There is to the northwest. To the northeast is the Congressman George Collins Senior Apartments. To the east, the University Commons. To the south, Marquez Brothers, which is a food supplier company. And then just to the south west is a U-Haul storage facility. Next slide is an aerial view from the west facing east, again depicting sub-area A and sub-area B. Along South Blue Island, there is a dedicated bike lane that runs just along the frontage of the subject property. And as you can see, with respect to sub-area B, there is within just above the first floor of the retail, there is a deck with a pool. This is an aerial view from north facing south, again depicting sub-area A and sub-area B. And the next slide is an aerial view from the east facing west, again showing sub-area A and sub-area B. Next slide is a pedestrian context. And this is the northwest corner of sub-area B within the planned development. What you're seeing facing there is the retail space at the single-story building that is part of the reason for this application to amend the PD. Next slide is the pedestrian context, the northeast corner of sub-area B. You have Racine Avenue to the left and 14th Place to the right. Next slide is the southeast corner of sub-area A with 15th Street to the right and Blue Island to the left. This slide is southwest corner of sub-area A. Again, 15th Street to the right. There is retail on the ground level along part of 15th Street and wrapping around a little bit on Blue Island. The applicant and the tenant, the proposed tenant for the liquor store, tavern, and outdoor ground level patio have met and communicated with Alderman Tichko Lopez, his office, as well as I believe it's a local zoning advisory board. That meeting took place, I believe, a couple of months ago. There's approximately 20 to 30 individuals that were there. The proposed tenant, Eddie Modi, was also present. Mr. Modi is a second generation family owner of wine and spirit stores. They have 3 throughout Chicago. They have 42 plus years of experience owning and operating wine and spirit stores. And importantly, there was no objections at all based on those community meetings. This next slide is the site plan. So the site plan, it doesn't show the particular boundary line, but the horizontal line that separates sub-area A at the bottom and sub-area B is located approximately where you see the courtyard in the middle. So it runs completely across the site at the boundary of the courtyard that runs along South Blue Island. The site plan, as indicated earlier, has not changed. So the building has not changed, the height's not changed. The what's being proposed in part here is the activation of the retail space. So at the first floor along 14th Place and Blue Island, and also to but to accommodate potential uses for the retail space along 15th Street. This next slide is the proposed first floor plan for sub-area B, where the proposed wine and spirit store would be located. There'd be an entrance located along 14th Place. There is also an entry from the east. And then there is the courtyard is located along Blue Island. It's important to note with respect to the courtyard that already exists there. You'll see in a subsequent slide, there's going to be a proposed fence that will be consistent with the fence that's located along, the decorative fence located along Racine. There will be no access to the courtyard from Blue Island. In order to access that courtyard, one would need to go to the retail wine and spirit store in order to access it as part of their use of that space. This slide is the building elevation west for sub-area A and B. Again, no changes other than the proposed fence along for the courtyard. And then this next slide is the close-up of the fence elevation. It'd be a 4-inch tall painted metal fence gate, again, matching the existing fence located along Racine. With respect to economic and community benefits, I just want to point out, this is an example of a success story and patience. This building was built in 2021. This is obviously not, I mean, we've heard some really good plans and proposals today that are outstanding and looking forward to them being done. But this developer completed this building in 2021 and neither one of the retail spaces have been occupied. And now we finally have a retail space that's coming in. And as we know, when one retail space comes in, we'll get another retail space that's also going to come in as well. So this is a success story in terms of a small business owner born and raised in Chicago with a developer who's done projects throughout the Chicago, showing the patience and diligence to reactivate and redevelop this particular area. The total project cost is between $200,000 and $300,000. It's all based on just the interior build out being done by the tenant. Temporary construction jobs is approximately 10. Permanent jobs, 4 full-time equivalent and 4 part-time equivalent. The construction timeline is 4 to 6 months. I'm sure that Mr. Modi would like for it to happen in half that time, but reality being what it is. Participation goals are 26% MBE, 6% WBE, 50% Chicago residents. That concludes my presentation. I just want to, as I always do when I present before any one of the bodies, I want to thank staff for all their hard work, and particularly Yangdi, Noah, and the entire staff at Department of Planning and Development. Really appreciate your collaboration on all these matters. Thank you.
Thank you. For the record, again, my name is Yangdi Wang with the Department of Planning and Development. DPD has reviewed the proposal submitted by the applicant and has concluded that the proposed amendment to planned development number 1067 would be appropriate for the following reasons. The proposed amendment complies with the planned development standards and guidelines. The proposed amendment is compatible with the character of the surrounding area. Public infrastructure facilities and city services will be adequate to serve the proposed development at the time of occupancy. Please refer to my staff report for further details regarding this project and the plans identified here today. Based on the foregoing is the recommendation of the zoning administrator of the Department of Planning and Development that this proposed amendment to planned development number 1067 be approved and forwarded to the City Council Committee on Zoning, Landmarks, and Building Standards as such. DPD staff and the representatives from the applicant team are here to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Yangdi. And we have one speaker signed up to speak, Mr. George Blakemore.
On the legal state of the city of Chicago. I was born in America. I'm not a refugee. I was born in America. So when I come up to speak, I expect to be for you to respect me and for me to respect you. I'm not used to people bullying me. I bully the bully. I am against this project, and I've stated my reasons. Alcohol, but I understand the Altman is desperate to keep his area Hispanic. I remember when Lady Lightfoot, that same Altman, wanted something like a curfew to stop this ward is turning white, and he's doing everything to try to, for it not to go there. So I'm not new to government, and when I come up here and I see something being rubber stamped, you doing what you have to do, and I'm doing what I have to do. I don't have to agree with you, but we can be respectful to each other. I bully the bully. So I want to treat you with dignity and respect, all of you. But respect is earned. You have to treat me like that too. The goods, the service, and the job for residents. For residents. I am not a resident. I am a legal citizen of the United States. And my people have been enslaved in America. I'm not a refugee. So can't we all get along? So you're going to pass this. And it's going to be I. You all going to rubber stamp it. You're all Democrats. I don't have to agree with you. But when I don't agree with you, you don't have to treat me like you do. Punish me and say ugly things to me. A good citizen wouldn't do that. This Mr. Blakemore, what are all these people that are in here? They're all Democrats. No check and balance. So I don't want to feel like I'm in the enemy territory.
Thank you, Mr.
And
Blakemore.
thank you very much, young lady. And remember what I said. I treat you with respect. And you treat
It goes
us
both
with
ways.
Thank you.
Correct.
Thank you.
I'll open it up to the commissioners. Does anybody have a question or comment? Commissioner Piñeiro?
I do have a question. Thank you for the presentation. And maybe there's a question for either Mr. Azardo or Mr. Barrios, the developer. I just want to understand a little bit of the history because it sounds like you said 2021 is when the project was completed.
That's when the building was completed.
The project was completed. And you've been trying to, the developer has been trying to get a tenant for the space since. So give me a little bit of the history of what's happened, what was the original intent of the space, and of course, I understand the reason why the request is made right now.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit it on the head. We've
If you can state your name for the record.
Sure. Andrew Barry, representing the developer owner. Planned, there's two retail spaces at the site right now. Original plans were just general retail. We didn't really have a specific use in mind or pre-development. It was kind of assumed that it would be leased and find a tenant on our own for a tenant that could utilize the space. And we've, as mentioned, have had no luck doing so in the past 3-4 years. So it's happy to partner with Eddie and his shops to open up a location here in this neighborhood and, hope to also activate that second smaller retail space as well.
What's the square footage on the second retail?
About 6 of this one or the
This is the other one.
the second one is about 1,600. So it's
1,600 square feet.
smaller than this, but seen some solid prospects recently, but nothing's solidified yet.
Okay. Very good. And you think this amendment actually will give you enough leeway, enough latitude for the candidates that you're looking at? For the other space?
Definitely.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you. Nothing else, Madam Chair.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else? If not, I'll hand it over to Alderman Cicho Lopez.
Thank you, Chairwoman. And I'm going to recuse myself from voting on this matter. It's in the 25th Ward. However, I do want to speak on the process and in support of this amendment to the Planning Commission, to the PTMD. This is for us in Pilsen in particular. This is nearby Pilsen, but it's not common that you don't get objections to liquor retail, right? So I want to recognize that. I think that this is one of those few spots where actually maybe there's a good fit for the area, allowing the commercial space to be occupied. And again, we want to make sure that we recognize that we look at every project in detail. We're glad to see that this can give them the flexibility so that they can occupy the space. We also have a reputable license holder that has experience with that, met with the neighbors, met with the zoning advisory board. And I want to thank for the patience. I know this takes quite a bit of time, but I do believe that doing our due diligence ultimately results in better projects and better fit. We are very strict with moratoriums in Pilsen. I think this is probably one of the only one that I think we have actually lifted in a very small area, but we're glad that this is working out for this particular project, and also that the community has not objected, and our zoning advisory board has advised us to move forward with this. So I want to thank the commission for their consideration and support.
Thank you, Alderman. Any follow-up questions for the Alderman or the applicant? If not, I'll go ahead and ask for a motion. One more? Yeah, I have to read it. Do I have a motion on a proposed resolution seeking the adoption of? No, this is not the right order. Stitching it together, it's saying. Yeah, but I just read D4, but yeah.
Do this, just read this.
Okay.
This first line.
Okay. Do I have a motion on a proposed resolution, on a proposed amendment to residential business plan development number 1067 submitted by Pilsen Gateway LLC for the property generally located at 1431 through 1455 South Blue Island Avenue, 1218 West 15th Street, and 1208 West 15th Street, finding that it meets the requirements for approval. Thank you, Commissioner Reyes. Do I have a second? Commissioner Brumfield, roll call vote. And I do have a proxy yes from Commissioner Boatwright. Commissioner Brumfield?
Yes.
Thank you. I have a proxy yes from Commissioner Burnett. I have a proxy yes from Commissioner Carney. Commissioner Castañeda?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Flores, yes. Commissioner Cadaquia? Thank you. Commissioner La Espada?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Lyons?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Murphy?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Piñeiro?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Ramirez Rosa? Stepped out. Commissioner Reyes?
C. Yes.
Yes. Commissioner Cicho Lopez is a recusal. And Commissioner Tillman? Thank you. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And actually, one of the guys that was with her, what I did, I should. Since you were rushing.
Before we discontinue.
Okay, we'll continue. The next item today is listed as D5, a proposed resolution seeking the adoption of Stitching It Together, a framework plan for Brighton Park and Gage Park. This plan included a year-long community engagement process that reached over 800 community members and will provide a framework plan aimed at improving connections and services in Brighton Park and in Gage Park on Chicago's southwest side. Stitching It Together provides recommendations covering various topics, including housing, open space, and neighborhood beautification, the public realm, health and environmental justice, economic development, and community programming. This is in the 12th, 14th, and 15th wards. And I know we're gonna open it up before the actual presentation to the staff from the 14th ward to give their comments because they have to leave. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Alejandra Izquierdo. I am here on behalf of Alderwoman Helu Gutierrez from the 14th Ward. She couldn't be here today due to a prior commitment, but wanted to read the letter that she wrote in support of this project. So, dear members of the Chicago Plan Commission, I am writing to express my full support for the Stitching It Together community-led framework plan. This project, led by the Department of Planning and Development, is a critical step towards strengthening the connection between Brighton Park and Gage Park and improving access to essential community services and public spaces. Throughout this process, I have had the opportunity to collaborate closely with DPD, community members, and local stakeholders. I've witnessed firsthand not only the tremendous need in Gage Park and Brighton Park for increased investment, infrastructure, and opportunity, but also the deep desire among residents to be active participants in shaping projects that affect their daily lives. Stitching It Together responds to that call. The plan prioritizes improved transportation access, uplifts local businesses, promotes public health and safety, and seeks to reduce the negative impacts of nearby industrial operations. It represents the kind of thoughtful, inclusive, and transformative planning for our communities deserve. I want to thank the Department of Planning and Development for their leadership and their ongoing commitment to equity, inclusion, and community voice. I have no doubt that this plan will have a lasting and positive impact on the 14th Ward and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you. So now I'll hand it over to Roberta Astudillo, who will provide the context overview and present the proposal for the plan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon, Chair, members of the Commission. For the record, my name is Roberto Studillo, Urban Designer with the Department of Planning and Development. The item before you is a presentation of Stitching It Together, a framework plan for Brighton Park and Gage Park. An informational presentation was provided to Plan Commission on February 20th. Today, we are presenting it for formal adoption. The draft was posted for public comments for 30 days. We received 4 comments in addition to letters of support from the 12th and 14th wards and the Brighton Park Neighborhood Council, Southwest Collective, and Sputnik Coffee. The study was led by the Department of Planning and Development, with support from a consultant team that included SOM, Urban Works, SB Friedman, and Omni Ecosystems. It has been a year-long process collaborating with the 12th, 14th, and 15th wards, various city departments and sister agencies, community organizations, and the residents of Brighton Park and Gage Park. The study articulates a framework for future initiatives in the community for the next 10 to 15 years. The plan is a culmination of more than 18 months of research and engagement with more than 800 community members and other stakeholders. The plan covered the Brighton Park and Gage Park community areas. These 2 communities have a population of about 77,000 residents, of which over 86% are Hispanic or of Latino ethnicity. The study area is represented by Alderwoman Ramirez, 12th Ward, Alderwoman Gutierrez, 14th Ward, and Alderman Lopez, 15th Ward. This planning framework aims to improve the public realm by providing better connections to community assets and services, support local businesses along corridors, reduce and mitigate the impacts of industrial operations, and increase the public well-being by leveraging neighborhood assets and investment towards a safer and healthier community. For an overview, to your left is Gage Park and to your right is Brighton Park. The industrial corridor and existing rail corridors are the principal boundary between these 2 communities. In recent decades, the industrial corridor has been eroded by non-industrial investments like parks and schools. During the community engagement process, the team met the community at their events and gathering places. The team attended over 15 events, held 4 community advisory group meetings, including a student workshop with students at Solorio High School, received over 250 surveys, and engaged more than 800 community members of all ages. Over 50% of all participants were youth or young adults. The team attended a senior event hosted by the Southwest Senior Center. A survey targeted at business owners along the corridors was distributed. Flyers were distributed throughout the community with information on community meetings and ways to engage and share feedback. All community engagement materials were made available in English and in Spanish, including the entire plan during the public comment period. Copies of the plan were distributed to ward offices and community partners to improve access for community members to review and comment. DPD aspired to provide an inclusive engagement process that accounted for missing voices in the community. We developed relationships with community partners that were vital to our engagement process. Our community partners like the Brighton Park Neighborhood Council, SGA, Circus Team, Southwest Collective, Poder, Greater Southwest Development Corporation, Back of the Yards Neighborhood Council, and the ward offices were instrumental in the community engagement process. These are partnerships that will help support future initiatives and the implementation of the recommendations in this plan. 6 community priorities were identified. 1, increase access to housing options. 2, expand access to open spaces and neighborhood beautification. 3, prioritize safe streets and community spaces. 4, foster a culture of community health and environmental justice. 5, position opportunities for increased economic development. And 6, enhance community programming for all generations. The following specify the objectives to achieve said priorities along with illustrative vignettes. To increase access to housing options, the plan calls for supporting pathways to affordable homeownership and increasing community amenities, while also building more housing units to sustain housing affordability. To expand open space access and neighborhood beautification efforts, the plan supports the continuation of maintenance and improvements to parks and open spaces, to increase access to open space amenities, and to support efforts and local participation in neighborhood beautification efforts. To prioritize safe streets and the public realm, the plan prioritizes pedestrian safety and access to multimodal transit options, targets spaces that impact safety perceptions like underutilized lots and walkways, and seeks to provide well-distributed and inclusive community spaces. To foster a culture of community health and environmental justice, the plan calls to strengthen the health and well-being of the community and to incorporate green infrastructure to mitigate the effects of more intensive industrial land uses. To position opportunities for increased economic development, the plan provides support for small businesses and incentivizing development opportunities that meet community needs and activate vacant and underutilized sites. Finally, to enhance community programming for all generations, the plan calls for multi-generational programming and spaces, the creation and support of more opportunities to gather, and the celebration of local culture. Each of the priorities includes a series of action items with an anticipated time frame, potential partners, implementation status, and implementation tools. The report includes additional resources for community partners like engagement data and exhibits, existing conditions, a market study that highlights trends and economic development tools, and a series of diagrams or typologies that demonstrate how action items could be implemented. The plan includes a series of typical typologies found in Brighton Park and Gage Park. While action items do not specify specific locations for their implementation, these typologies demonstrate how the recommendations in this plan could be implemented in a variety of ways. The Department of Planning and Development, in collaboration with other city departments, sister agencies, and community partners from Brighton Park and Gage Park, recommends the adoption of Stitching It Together for the following reasons. This plan is a guide for ongoing collaboration between city departments, sister agencies, and community partners. The plan captured existing conditions, tools, and inclusive engagement feedback from community members to support future initiatives. The plan provides a community-driven vision for a vibrant Brighton Park and Gage Park. At this time, I would be happy to address any questions you might have.
Thank you. Thank you, Roberto. We do have one speaker signed up to speak on this item, Mr. George Blakemore.
Engagement. If it was 800 people from the community, why can't I see a lot of them here? If it was truly community engagement. Even now, I see that Lopez has left. Community engagement. You want to, I'm from the community. Mr. Blakemore, do you live in that area? No. Well, why are you here? I have an assignment. I'm a citizen of the city of Chicago, and I have watched this city go down. Higher crime, unemployment, illegal immigrants. I've watched it. And I am a concerned citizen. So they said over 80% of the people in was Hispanic. I advocate for citizens. So the conflict that I have when I speak here is that we're on two different pages. And I was forced to, all my life I've been a Democrat. But I have to change. On my way, I went red, flip red, but go black. We are the only people that was enslaved in America. And when we see another people coming, receiving jobs, goods, contracts, and service, housing, we resent it. Citizens come first before residents. So I am entitled to my opinion. and I have given my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. So I can see what you are advocating for your residents. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm advocating for Black people enslaved in America. We never received our reparation. So we're on two different pages, but we don't have to be insulting to each other. I understand where you're coming from, and you understand where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from flip red, go red. I'm talking about this democratic machine.
Thank you, Mr. Blakemore. Do the commissioners have any questions of the staff or the applicant on this item? Actually, it's in plan, not a, go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks so much for the presentation. I was curious if you could speak a little bit more about the library. That seemed to be one of the items that came up a number of times and one of the key findings of the need for a new library. Could you speak about the timeline and what it would take for that to happen? It looks like this is one of the few storefront libraries that are still in the city. I was looking, and I know it's quite small. So interested if you could speak more to what it would take, what kind of resources to make that happen.
Yeah, so we worked closely with CPL on this project as well, and the branch manager of the Gage Park Library was also on our community advisory group. One of the things that we helped capture with this study is the need for that library, that the fact that the community was advocating for that library. Another way that this structures a timeline is that it's a priority now in this plan that this should be a branch, which allows us to look at other tools to acquire it or to create it, also to work closer with libraries to make that happen. In terms of timeline, we wouldn't be as certain on timeline.
Yeah. Yeah, Nolan Zaroff with the Department of Planning and Development. CPL still needs to work through their process in terms of prioritizing it and budgeting for it. But we've been, by putting it in the plan, it gives them some traction, some runway to do that work. We've also been working with them to identify potential sites for a new library location.
Any other questions from the commissioners? Commissioner Reyes?
What are the next steps? Sorry. What are the next steps now that this is going to be adopted?
So there's multiple ways that this study's going. So since we collaborated with multiple city departments and sister agencies, each one of them had different priorities going on in the community. So part of the plan gives them more runway to continue to implement their projects like bike lanes, pedestrian improvements. Others provide support for future initiatives, so like implementing a better streets for bus typologies in the neighborhood. And then in terms of more long-range pieces, it allows us to explore the feasibility of these. So like looking at the right-of-ways, how can they be activated? Looking at land, looking at zoning changes, all these pieces are more of a long-term piece.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and if I can add more, again, Nolan Zaroff with the Department of Planning and Development. It also kicks off additional planning on our end. So, this is a kind of a high-level framework plan that's looking at the community at, the 30,000-foot level. We need to dig into the industrial corridor. So our citywide systems team will start to do that work in the future. It sets up that type of work. It also provides something that community organizations and other departments and agencies can use when they go for grant funding for their projects and initiatives.
Okay. And I'm curious to know that within the housing options, rental housing was not mentioned by the community.
Rental options were mentioned in terms of the increasing rents. We understand that rents have been increasing fast in these two communities, and that's one of the reasons why we've included our colleagues at DOH in this conversation to understand how we can support any resource outreach. What are some of the constraints the community is facing towards accessing these programs?
So the community asked for homeownership and rental housing.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Commissioner Piñeiro.
So since we're talking about this, and maybe this is Noah or Roberto or Nolan, if you can address it. We've seen some of these frameworks come before us before, and at times we run into discussions around zoning and what the zoning framework is going to be. Can you help us understand, at least either in this particular case or broadly speaking, how when a framework is established, what's the process for, is there a master plan for zoning? How does that develop along the way?
Noah Safranek, Department of Planning and Development, and certainly would defer to the zoning administrator if he'd like to speak as well. But typically we refrain from very specific prescriptive zoning in the plans. We stick with something that's contextually how the department sees streets or roadways or sections of areas evolving over time. And then the plan supports the ability to go that route. So then if the neighborhoods have a certain zoning designation or a stretch that they want to change the zoning on, this plan backs up their ability to do so. But we refrain from any type of spot zoning or any type of prescriptive zoning for areas.
And when the zoning process begins in earnest, what's the community engagement process related to that?
Well, every zoning map amendment has to go in front of the Committee on Zoning and City Council for a vote. So when it is time for any of that zoning changes to happen, it can come in a variety of ways. It could be the type of development that Nolan and Roberto are looking to spur in the areas, the private developers that want to do that development, they could begin the process as a private application and use the plan for support for why they're seeking that designation. Sometimes the local elected officials can be proactive. They can look at certain stretches of roadway and say, you know, this 2-block stretch is filled with 10 different zoning designations. We want to unify it. This is where the plan supports this density. Here's what we'd like to change it to. Or there sometimes are areas that are they're legal, but they're non-conforming with the current zoning. They may seek to rectify those and say, hey, this business has been here forever in this M zone. I don't know why this M zone's here. We'll set it to whatever the zoning is that the plan then supports. So there are a myriad of ways that the zoning can get corrected to then be in concert with the plan.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is, and just I want to understand that I'm putting it in context of other frameworks that we've seen before. So there's just it sounds like there's plenty of opportunities for the community to be engaged in the process of turning the framework into kind of specific zoning designations.
Absolutely. This is to set the expectation for both the city side and the neighborhood side of what we are supporting and what the community has asked us to support. And then each individual action that requires a vote at any of the various council, either at council or at any of the committees, then typically has its own engagement process baked into that process.
All right. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, gentlemen.
Commissioner Gadacchia? Do you want to speak? Okay.
All right, I'll use this. This is a little bit off topic, but I would be really interested if you wouldn't mind educating me. Are there plans to support all around the city additional bike corridors like this? And how does that happen? How does that put together? How do they connect with one another? I know sometimes they can't literally connect probably, but I'm interested in what this looks like and also how it connects with what the Parks Department would be working on and sort of the connecting overall thought process around that.
Noah with Planning and Development again. Unfortunately, Commissioner Carney had to step out, and that probably is the most appropriate question for CDOT because they maintain and have the purview of controlling all of the roadways, but they do have an entire bike division under their purview, and there is a general citywide plan you always hear stories about the number of miles of bike lanes that we're adding. So there is a comprehensive plan, but it would be best for CDOT to speak to it.
I meant a little bit differently. I meant with something more similar to this Major Taylor Trail, which is not like on the streets.
Well,
it's more of a park.
Well, Erica's gonna explain that plan, and it's not the bike trail itself. It's the plan that's adjacent to that for the privately owned parcels that the zoning department, planning department control or have the ability to adopt policy that shapes what happens around it. But the trail itself is not something that's under the planning department's purview. It's under the purview of, sometimes if they're within a park district or CDOT. So We can certainly speak to that. I just think it's best when Commissioner Carney is back that he lead that discussion since it's his department who has the purview on it.
No, I
Sorry.
understand that fundamental.
Yeah.
I mean,
But we support, as a department, we support the implementation of those
Yeah.
bikes, and we always invite CDOT to coordinate with us in all of our plans, and we ask them how it impacts them. And certainly, I know you've heard Alderman Laspada, who has stepped out, but he's always an advocate in these plans, or what's the developer doing to support bikes?
Yeah, Nolan Sarf with the Department of Planning and Development. Yeah, just to add a little bit additional detail to it. Yeah, so we, for this planning process, we had, folks from CDOT and from Park District involved for the, for a year-long process. They sat on our advisory committee. We had multiple meetings with them. So we are taking into account their planning efforts around parks, around bike lanes. And so I can't speak, for the full city, but at least for these communities in our region, we're coordinating with them constantly, and any future planning efforts that we're teeing up, like the Archer Avenue study that we're about to launch, we will also be working with them on that. So we're having that conversation and that sort of cross-pollination about, here's what the community would like to see, here's what CDOT is doing, how do these things align, how do we support them, and inform future planning as they move forward.
Thank you. And I believe Commissioner Lyons had a follow-up question.
Yes, just in terms of the ongoing, I know you mentioned engagement around the zoning, but do you envision ongoing community engagement similar to what you had going to create the plan? Is there a follow-up if residents want to get involved or stay connected to various projects and the progress?
Yes, this plan really allowed us to understand some of the best practices in terms of engagement in these two communities. And we're going to take that, what we learned, into our future plans. But in terms of the Moving Archer Forward plan, this is something that we're going to also include these engagement tactics and keep including the community in these conversations.
Yeah, and if I can add a little more. So, we have a website for Stitching It Together, so the community can still go to that website, engage, reach out. Any of the additional planning work that is launched from Stitching It Together, because again, this is a framework that sets up additional initiatives, those will have their own engagement processes. So, and I think DPD looks to stay involved going forward on the implementation of even the things that are not, directly within DPD's wheelhouse. So.
Anyone, Commissioner Ramirez Rosa?
Yes, thank you so much. I just want to say that on behalf of the Chicago Park District, we are supportive of Stitching It Together and this framework plan. We're very proud to have been at the table throughout the process. And the plan aligns with the Park District strategic plan, programming goals, and open space needs. So kudos to the team for working on this. And we're very happy to see that open space is included throughout the plan in many of the community identified priorities. And of course, Brighton Park is home to our headquarters, which is a brand new, beautiful building and park in what was a former industrial waste space. So we think it's great that, the city is continuing to engage in planning there that builds upon the investments that the Park District has already made in the community.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from the commissioners? No, and I don't think we have any of the aldermen speaking on this. We have letters of support from all three aldermen. Okay.
One spoke and two.
What's that?
One spoke earlier, and then we have some.
Yeah, I guess the 14th, yes. Okay, so if there are no more questions or comments, I'll go ahead and ask for a motion. Do I have a motion on a proposed? So this is flipped. This is why. Okay, do I have a motion on a proposed resolution seeking the adoption of Stitching It Together, a framework plan for Brighton Park, Engage Park, finding that it meets the requirements for approval? Thank you, Commissioner Ramirez Rosa, second. Thank you, Commissioner Brumfield and Kadakia. Okay, roll call vote. Commissioner Brumfield?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Castañeda?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Flores? Yes. Commissioner Kadakia? Thank you. I have a proxy vote yes for Commissioner Laspada. Commissioner Lyons?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Murphy?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Piñeiro?
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Ramirez Rosa?
Yes.
Thank you. And Commissioner Tillman? Commissioner Reyes, I missed. Thank you. I heard you. Motion passes or the plan passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All flipped. Let's see. And the next item today is actually D6, not D5. This is an informational presentation on the major Taylor Trail Land Use Framework Plan and the Mayor Taylor Trail Consolidation Plan, two separate but complementary plans. The Land Use Framework Plan focuses on catalyzing equitable development in the area around the trail from 104th Street to 125th Street, which includes Beverly, Morgan Park, and West Pullman. The consolidation plan catalogs planned capital improvements and recommendations from all organizations involved in the operation of the major Taylor Trail and will be used to track progress on trail improvements and guide interagency coordination. This is in the 9th, 18th, 19th, and 21st wards. Erica Selke will provide the context overview and present the proposed plan.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Erica Selke, and I'm the lead planner for the Far South region with the Department of Planning and Development. And I have Will Holland here with me from Department of Planning and Development, and we'll both share information about these complementary plans. So as mentioned, the Major Taylor Trail is an 8-mile trail that runs from the Dan Ryan Woods to Whistler Woods, and it runs on the former Conrail right-of-way. So this was a freight line that became a path for walking and biking. It goes through many different community areas: Ashburn, Auburn Gresham, Beverly, Washington Heights, Morgan Park, West Pullman, and 4 different wards. So this is one of Chicago's oldest Rails to Trails programs, started in the 90s, and the trail was completed in 2007. It's a mix of off-street path and on-street bike routes. The off-street trail is shown in the dark green, and the on-street is shown in the dashed line. So it goes down to the southernmost border of Chicago, and a bike path actually continues then into the suburbs south of Chicago. And again, there are 2 complementary plans. One is the Major Taylor Trail Consolidation Plan, which will talk about, and there is also the Major Taylor Trail Land Use Framework. So we started planning around the Major Taylor Trail in terms of the land use framework between 105th and 124th Street. And, we heard from a lot of people that they wanted to talk about the actual trail itself. So we decided to pull these 2 different plans together so we can focus on both the actual trail and then the land surrounding the trail between 105th and 125th. So in terms of the framework plan, we are looking to identify opportunities for redevelopment and reinvestment in some of the vacant land along the trail, develop a vision and set of goals for land use in the study area, and promote equitable transit-oriented development along the trail, particularly with the Halsted Street newly planned Pace Pulse bus route, and also the Red Line extension, which is happening east of the trail in the planning area. We've done some community engagement with our partner, the Far South Community Development Corporation, which has included focus groups, community meetings. We had a website comment map, and direct mail with social media and press as well. Now I'll turn to Will to talk about the consolidation plan.
Hello. For the record, my name is Will Holland. I'm a city planner in the Department of Planning and Development, and I'm here to talk about the Major Taylor Trail Consolidation Plan. For background, this plan is designed to be a plan for the entirety of the trail, whereas before, any planning efforts were limited to the agency operating a section of the trail. There's multiple agencies and entities that own, operate, and manage this trail, including Chicago Park District, Forest Preserves of Cook County, City of Chicago Department of Planning and Development manages a very small portion of this trail. In addition, there's private ownership interests, easements, as well as Metro ownership. So it's a very complicated ownership and management structure for the entirety of the trail. So the goal is to bring all the recommendations and improvements, planned capital improvements for this trail from all the different agencies into one place, and also provide a framework moving forward for all the agencies to come together to track progress, coordinate on improvements to the trail, and yeah, be a guide for quarterly coordination meetings. So next steps are both plans are available online for public review and comments. Both plans will be going through another round of public outreach and engagement. And our plan is to come back to Plan Commission in August for adoption. Thank you.
Thank you.
Presentation.
Thank you both. Any questions from the commissioners? Commissioner Brumfield?
More just a comment. I just want to commend you and Commissioner Boatright for actually taking this on. DPD as a member of the Major Taylor Biking Club and a wannabe cyclist. This means a lot. Having something that is not relying on the lakefront path and actually where cyclists and bikers can actually just kind of stretch out a little bit in the city, particularly on the south side, means a lot. Would love to know if there's been any conversation with our neighbors to the south, just outside of our city limits, particularly in Riverdale and others, in terms of how this could actually be part of a larger regional trail. If
It has not been a part of the conversation, but certainly could be a great conversation moving forward, how it connects to the other trails. Yeah, certainly like Cal Sag Trail, just to the south there
Exactly.
especially.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments from commissioners? No. Okay, I do realize that Mr. Blakemore did sign up to speak for this item as well, if you would like to speak.
I'm looking. I see two black people here. Anyway, this trail, it's a study that you have, and you have a strategic plan. Some of this property is private property. Some of it is public, and you said some belong to the railroad. I'm looking over here also at the court reporter. I can see. I'm looking at the race, and I can play the race card. Why would I not play it? If I don't use what I got to get what I want, I don't need what I got. So this is why it's very important for me to come to these meetings. Very important. And that's going to be in O'Shea Ward, Pullman, and all of that. So again, the people must be included. And when you have empty seats and only one person, public person to speak, it means you are not doing your outreach. Your job is to educate, inform, and enlighten the constituents. And is something wrong. If you say, we have one public speaker, Mr. Blakemore, so you can keep them uneducated, uninformed, and that's why this system can continue to go on. No check and balance, all Democrats. So again, I have to be here. And by me being here, I'm on an assignment. I don't want to come here, but I have an assignment to inform, engage, and uplift not residents, but Black people. And you doing what you have to do, and I'm doing what I have to do. My assignment is to make sure that my community, the Black community, gets all the jobs, goods, and contracts and services that they deserve by being brought over here, enslaved in America with this democratic machine. So in a few minutes, madam, you'll say, beep, 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 your time is up. So the way reason you can get away with this is just one star can light up the darkness, the power.
Thank you, Mr. Blakemore. And any other questions of the staff about this plan? And we're not voting on this because this is just an informational presentation. So we look forward to having you guys back in the near future for adoption. Thank you for all the work.
Thank you.
And I believe that's the last item since we went out of order. And this concludes this month's meeting of the Chicago Plan Commission. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Thank you, Commissioner Brumfield, and second by Commissioner Piñeiro. Roll call vote. Let's see who's left. Commissioner Brumfield, thank you. Commissioner Castañeda, you're still here.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Flores, yes. Commissioner Cadaquia. Thank you. Commissioner Lyons.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Murphy. Thank you, Commissioner Piñeiro. Thank you, Commissioner Ramirez Rosa. Thank you, Commissioner Reyes.
Yes.
And Commissioner Tillman. Thank you. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Thanks, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you, Noah.
Hey.